Hello everyone, it's Renina here. As you might have seen on my channel, Pathea released a My Time at Sandrock demo for a couple of days, and I had the pleasure of playing it. After some time to get my thoughts straight on what I really think of the demo, I'm ready to share my opinion on the My Time at Sandrock demo with you. There are a couple of elements that can easily make or break a game if they're done wrong. Bad characters and terrible world building can ruin a game, but so can a lacking storyline. Since this was just a demo, not much of the storyline was revealed. What we do know is the following. We are one of the 2 new builders in Sandrock, a town in the Eufaula Desert which isn't doing all that well. As the new builder in town, we are slowly going to build the town back up. There is this rogue Sandrock citizen Logan, who with his band of merry men is making the railroad leading to and from Sandrock unsafe. That's all we gather from the demo. Besides a rather small portion of the main storyline, we've got a handful of side quests in the demo. We know water is scarce, and water management is gonna be really important. Burgess from the Church of Light is the one keeping track of the water usage around town, but lets you know quite well that no one in town takes kindly to those stealing water or chopping down trees. The last builder didn't really do much for the town over the last months. He and Yen from the Commons Guild make promises left and right, but nothing really came from it. The people from Sandrock really need help, but they didn't get it when they needed it the most. You can feel their relief that there's not 1, but 2 new builders in town who might actually be able to help them. We've got to help some of them during the handful of side quests that were introduced in the demo. If those side quests are anything to go by, I think a lot of the detailed storytelling and world building will be done through those side quests instead of the main storyline. As said before, one of the most important elements in a game are the characters you as player can interact with. My Time at Portia has a variety of characters, but the most notable ones being Dana because of her size difference, and Petra and Remington because of their ethnicity. From the characters we've seen in Sandrock, there's already more character diversity than Portia had. We've got Key of Asian descent, Avira and Amira of Mediterranean descent, Owen and Hugo who are people of color, and many more. Even though the voice acting hasn't been done yet, each of the characters already has so much personality. The clothing is more layered, which isn't as important as character diversity or personality, but it is a nice touch. Compared to My Time at Portia, Sandrock can be described as plain. Whereas Portia had luscious green fields, sprawling beaches and an absolutely sleep-induced desert. Very understandably, I was worried about a town like Sandrock being located in just a desert. I really disliked Portia's desert, with how little there was to do and its flat yellow color. It surprised me how they were able to display the same biome so differently in Sandrock. There are sand bushes, cacti, rocks, stones and piles of junk. There are also hills, mountains and probably even more that we haven't even seen yet. Compare that to the handful of cacti, snakes and 1 rune in the Portia desert, and Sandrock feels like a luscious oasis. Speaking of an oasis, the town of Sandrock has been built on one. Though the buildings of Sandrock are more temporary than the ones in Portia, they are really unique and fit the setting. I think the difference in style and construction between Sandrock and Portia comes down to the state of the town when we, the new builder, arrived. Portia was already a sprawling city when we arrived, while Sandrock is on the brink of collapse. The last builder of Sandrock is about to leave, and we and Mien have to keep the town from dying out. But let's focus on just Sandrock alone for a minute. The Commons Guild isn't that impressive. That isn't really surprising, since there was only 1 builder who, from what I can get, didn't really do all that much. The Blue Moon Saloon is, as the name suggests, a saloon led by Owen. There's a stage both inside and outside the saloon, suggesting that there will be more than 1 performance in the My Time at Sandrock timeline. And oh my gosh, have I ever said that I missed kitchens in Portia? There are multiple kitchens to be found in Sandrock, one of which being in the Blue Moon Saloon. Just outside town, there's a Yakmal farm run by Mother Mabel, Father Cooper and daughter Elsie. In the middle of town there's a research center that looks like just every other building in town. There's a city hall that I haven't really explored all that much on the main square, which is shared with the general and clothing store. On the edge of town, there's a fighting ring and some sort of greenhouse that we couldn't access during the demo. Altogether, there are even more buildings that I haven't mentioned or haven't really explored all that much yet. So altogether, the world is great as far as I could explore it during the demo. Even though it's located in the desert, it still feels diverse and no plot looks the same. I have to add a side note that there's much of the map that hasn't been explored yet. Assuming that the map is somewhat similar to the My Time at Portia map, with the town in the center and diverse biomes around it, I can see the map of Sandrock becoming boring since I cannot really imagine how they want to make the desert even more diverse. That leads me to some smaller points of the Sandrock demo that I really liked, or disliked. One of the issues I come across was stamina. I use normal game speed, but I had the feeling that most of the days I ran out of stamina before 3 o'clock. To give you a bit of an example, taking a swing with your pickaxe takes up 3 stamina. I was able to get it into the Abandoned Ruins 1 when my character was level 7, meaning I had a maximum of 344 stamina points. The Abandoned Ruins in Sandrock are a little bit of a mix between the Abandoned Ruins and Hazardous Ruins from Portia. There are patches where you can dig for artifacts, but they also appeared outside of those dirt patches. However, you have to dig through the dirt to get to other rune levels or to find some much wanted artifacts. The first couple ore I came across took 10 hits, or in other words 30 stamina points, to be cleared. Within 3.5 minutes of arriving in the Abandoned Ruins, my stamina bar was empty and I didn't have a way to fill it back up. This was rather annoying because I had to choose whether I wanted to scavenge for resources, go into the ruins to mine, or fight some critters to get meat and fur. I really couldn't do more than one thing a day, since my stamina kept running out without a proper way to replenish it. Weather seems to play a big role in Sandrock, mainly sandstorms. I love the idea behind it and I do enjoy that you have to wear special gear in order to walk around freely. One thing I did not enjoy about the sandstorms was that I couldn't hand in one of the quests because Cooper wouldn't leave his bedroom. The character customization was great, even for a demo. I do imagine that there will be more character customization options, but what was already there was great. Also, there were more weapons available than just the sword from Portia. Each of the weapon classes had different swing speeds, as well as a difference in damage. This allowed me to choose whatever weapon I wanted, instead of having to go with a simple sword. Some of the promises that have been made about My Time in Sandrock we haven't seen in the demo yet. Think about the Stardew Valley style gardening, desert slope sliding minigame, furniture customization and more. The demo got me even more hyped than I already was for My Time at Sandrock. There are some points that I would like to see addressed, but overall the demo was great. With memorable characters, a great world and the beginnings of a good story, on top of 4 hours of gameplay, I can only say that this was one of the best demos I've played.